Okay, so let's now continue on. Well, we're now creating a shift. When we go out of the shift editor and come back in, there isn't necessarily anything default selected except find by date. And if we click on one of the shifts, then we go back to the editing panel. So we can see that John is the keyword. It's the driver for the hospital shuttle. We can now see that save and set recurrence has been enabled. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go down and see what's coming. We could add a glossary of terms, and the glossary of terms act very much like the keywords here. We can create some terms. So let's say we had something like driver instructions that we would like to include on every shift for drivers. Let's say there are some rules in our organization that their drivers must have a driver's license valid for at least 90 days. Drivers must get a signature. Whatever information is critical for drivers, we could create a common glossary. And we could stick that on the shift and instead of having to type that information into the information area every time. So the advantage of creating glossary terms that we can then just add to a shift, as many as 2 or 3 if necessary. And that allows us to not have to continually type the same information every time. So that's how the glossary works. Now let's have a look at the minimum people and maximum people. Notice that in this particular case, there's a green thumbs up, which means that the shift is satisfied. But it's because that there are actually zero people required. Let's actually require that shift to have 1 person, and the maximum, since it's a driver, to have only 1 person. Let's go save that and notice how that green thumbs up changes. So what's happened is, the thumbs down indicates that the shift is incomplete, and the reason is that we don't have the minimum number of people correct. So that gives us some information about how the minimum number of people work. We could, of course, set it to 2 or 3. That would be fine, and the minimum number as well we can change. But that's the information that the system looks for in indicating whether the shift has been completed or not. So that's a little more information about shifts. In the next video, we'll look at adding staff, and maybe even setting color to those shifts.